The billion naira secret hiding in your kitchen cabinet. Have you ever held a bag of golden penny semovita and wondered, how did flour mills of Nigeria know I would pick this exact one out of 20 options on the shelf? It was not luck. It was not guesswork. It was a system. Right now, somewhere in Lagos, Kano, or Aba, an unemployed graduate, a side-hustling tailor, and a retired civil servant on Social Security are all trying to launch a food product. Most will fail in 6 months. Not because the idea was bad, but because they never learned the one skill that turned flour mills of Nigeria from a single mill in 1960 into the FMCG giant feeding millions today. Knowing exactly who to sell to before you spend one kobo making it. If you are an entrepreneur, job seeker, or building your next hustle, this story is your blueprint. We are breaking it down into 3 parts. This is part 1. Part 1. Finding the person who is already hungry for what you have not made. Yet forget target market jargon. Let us talk human. Flour Mills of Nigeria, FMN, does not sell flour. They sell trust to a mother at 6 a.m., speed to a baker at 4 a.m., and consistency to a restaurant that cannot afford a bad batch. Their potential customer is not Nigerians. It is Mrs. Adebayo Onmushin, who makes puff puff for 200 school kids every morning and loses profit if the dough fails. So how do you identify your Mrs. Adebayo? And how do you test your idea on her before you go broke? Let us compare FMN with what most new companies do wrong. What other companies do. The spray and pray F8 company, Axe, launches a new instant noodles brand. They produce 50 cartons, run radio ads, and hope. After 3 months, warehouses are full. Why? They targeted youths. But youths in Lekki want protein, youths in Zaria want pepper, and youths in NYSC camp want cheap. Youths is not a customer. It is a census category. What Flour Mills of Nigeria does. The one-plate method. Before Golden Penny launched pasta, they did not ask, do Nigerians like pasta? They asked, which Nigerian is already boiling spaghetti 3 times a week, complaining it is too sticky, and would pay 10 naira more for one that does not waste her gas? That question changes everything. You stop creating for the market and start creating for a person. Here are the first 3 of 8 principles FMN uses to identify potential customers and test products. We will cover the rest in part 2. Principle 1. Start with the pan, not the plan. What it means, FMN studies how food is actually cooked, not how they wish it was cooked. How FMN applies it. When developing Golden Penny noodles, their teams spent weeks in kitchens in Ibadan, Onitsha, and Kaduna. They watched. They saw that most Nigerian families break noodles into smaller pieces to feed more mouths. They saw mothers adding crayfish and fresh pepper, not the seasoning alone. So FM made noodles that do not turn to mush when broken and reseasoned. Compare, Company Y launches a premium oatmeal for health-conscious professionals. But they never saw that the average professional in Lagos eats at 7:30 a.m. in traffic from a nylon bag. If it needs a bowl and spoon, it already failed. FMN's Golden Penny Oats comes in sachets you can pour into a cup with hot water. That is pan-first thinking. Your lesson. Before you write a business plan, write a day plan for your customer. What time do they wake? What pot do they use? What annoys them by 8 a.m.? Principle 2. Segment by struggle, not by state. What it means. FMN does not group customers by Southwest or age 18 to 35. They group by problem. FMN applies it. Golden Penny semovita has 2 buyers. 1. The home cook who struggles with lumps and wants smooth swallow for her husband. 2. The bukateria owner who struggles with consistency because if taste changes, customers leave. Same product, 2 struggles, 2 messages. The home pack shows a smiling family. The 50 kilograms bag shows consistent texture every time. Compare, Company Z sells plantain flour and targets everyone who eats swallow. But a diabetic patient's struggle is sugar spike. A caterer's struggle is bulk cost. A student's struggle is cook time. One bag cannot solve all 3. They end up solving none. Your lesson. Write down the top 3 frustrations your product solves. If you have more than 3, you do not have a product yet. You have a wish list. Principle 3. Test with naira, not nods. What it means. FMN does not trust, I will buy. They trust, I just bought. How FMN applies it. Before a national rollout, FMN runs controlled town storms. They pick one city like Ilorin. They give 500 market women the new golden penny margarine to sell for 2 weeks. No free samples. Actual sale at a promo price. They track. How many came back? What did customers complain about? Did the seller restock with her own money? If the women will not restock, FMN goes back to the lab. No ego. Compare. Company A does Instagram polls. 2,000 people click. Yes, I would buy. Launch day, 12 orders. Why? Clicking is free. Naira is feedback. Your lesson. Your first test is not a launch. It is a can I get 10 strangers to give me money for this before I tell my friends? If not, your idea is not ready. 3 mistakes other companies make when finding customers. 1. They fall in love with the product, not the person they perfected the recipe in their kitchen. But they never asked if anyone wants that recipe. FMN kills products that operators like but traders will not stock. Sentiment does not pay staff salaries. 2. They confuse sampling with testing, giving free products at Ikeja City Mall, and hearing it is sweet is not testing. Testing is. Will you walk past your usual brand to pick mine? With your own money? Twice? FMN measures repeat purchase in days, not smiles. 3. They scale before they squeeze. Once 100 people like it, they rush to produce 100, 0 units. FMN first squeezes one town dry. Can we sell 80% of stock in Eek Market, Enugu, in 7 days? If not, Nigeria is not ready. Fix, do not expand. Lessons learned you can use tomorrow. 1. Your customer is not everybody. If you are talking to everybody, you are selling to nobody. FMN would rather own the swallow for busy mums than chase all Nigerians. 2. Data lives in the pot, not in Google Forms. Watch, do not just ask. People say they want healthy. Buy what cooks in 5 minutes. 3. Small tests prevent big funerals. It is cheaper to fail in AG with 200 sachets than to fail nationally with 2 trucks. We have only scratched the surface. In Part 2, we will reveal the next 5 principles FMN uses, including how they use bakers' associations to co-create products and how golden penny gain ground on imported pasta. Because here's the truth. Unemployment is not cured by wishful products. It is cured by products that someone was already praying for. Your job is to find that prayer. Want Part 2 of free templates to test your own product idea? Subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I break down African business case studies into steps you can use this week. Click subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, where we turn your idea into someone else must buy. At a billion naira secret, hiding in your kitchen cabinet, Part 2. Last time, we uncovered this. Flour mills of Nigeria does not guess. They do not hope Nigerians will like it. They know, because they studied the pan before the plan, segmented by struggle, and tested with naira, not nods. But that is only half the story. Here is what happened next. After FMN confirmed Mrs. Adebayo and Nushin would actually buy golden penny semovita twice, they still did not go national. They went deeper. Because the difference between a product that sells for 6 months and one that feeds generations is how you listen after the first sale. Welcome to Part 2. If you are unemployed, underemployed, building a side hustle, or on Social Security, trying to ideate your next product, this is where you learn how FMN turns one customer into a city, then a country. Part 2. From one kitchen to a nation, how FMN turns feedback into fortunes. Let us pick up where we stopped. You have found your Mrs. Adebayo. She paid you. Now what? Most new companies do a victory dance and scale. FMN does something else. They interrogate the sale. Here are the next 5 principles Flour Mills of Nigeria uses to identify potential customers and test products. We are still comparing FMN with other companies so you can see the gap and close it. Principle 4. Co-create with the gatekeepers. What it means: your real customer is not always the person eating. Sometimes it is the person who decides what gets eaten. How FMN applies it. When FMN wanted to grow golden penny pasta, they did not just run TV ads. They went to the National Association of Nigerian Caterers and the Master Bakers Association. These are gatekeepers. If a caterer for weddings trusts your pasta not to gum up in a big pot, she will order 50 cartons. FMN gave bakers test batches of golden penny flour and asked, "What weight gives you the most loaves without collapsing?" The bakers answered. FMN reformulated. Now that flour is the default in many bakeries from Sokoto to Port Harcourt. Compare. Company B launches a new seasoning cube. They target housewives on Instagram. But the real gatekeeper is the alata in the market. If she says, "This one no sweet," 10 housewives will switch. Company B never met her. FMN trains market distributors and gets their input before final packaging. Your lesson: ask yourself, who will be blamed if my product fails? That person is your gatekeeper. Find them. Pay them in attention before you ask for cash. Principle 5. Follow the waste. What it means. FMN looks for what customers throw away. Waste is unmet demand in disguise. How FMN applies it. FMN teams noticed something in northern Nigeria. After making tiwo, families often had leftover maize shafts and bran from local mills. It was waste. FMN built feeds from it. That is how their golden penny feed business exploded. They turned the customer's trash into a new product line for poultry farmers. Same with golden penny noodles. They saw that students threw away seasoning because it was too salty. So they launched noodles with reduced salt and a separate spice pack. Sales jumped in campuses. Compare. Company C sells fruit juice. They focus on fresh taste. But they never noticed that Mama put owners dump and sold overripe pineapple every evening. A smart competitor now buys waste and makes dried fruit. Company C is still shouting 100% natural while opportunity rots. Your lesson: spend one day watching what your customer throws away after using products like yours. That is your next idea. Principle 6. Price for the pocket, not the ego. What it means. FMN does not ask, "What is this worth?" They ask, "What can she pay on a bad day and still come back?" How FMN applies it. Golden penny products come in SKUs for every pocket. The same quality semovita exists in 1 kg, 5 kilograms, and kilograms have 50 kg bags. Why? Because the office worker buys 1 kilogram after salary. The bocateria buys 50 kilograms weekly. If FMN only sold 10 kilogram, they would lose both. They also do price laddering. An golden penny massavita is cheaper than semovita. It is for the customer who wants swallow, but had an unexpected bill this week. FMN would rather you trade down within their brand than walk to a competitor. Compare. Company D launches premium organic honey at 2,000 naira for 250 milliliters. Their pitch: health is wealth. But the average Nigerian spends less than 500 naira per condiment per month. Company D calls it brand positioning. FMN calls it empty shelf. Your lesson: design 3 price points before you design your label. If a bad market week would make your customer abandon you, your price is wrong. Principle 7. Test in the chaos. What it means. FMN does not test products in perfect conditions. They test where NEPA will fail, where pot sizes vary, where water is hard. How FMN applies it. Before launching golden penny sugar, FMN tested it in tea made with pure water, borehole water, and tap water across 6 states. Because sugar that does not dissolve in hard water in Maiduguri is a failed product, even if it is fine in Lekki. For golden penny margarine, they left it in kiosks without fridge for 48 hours in Kano heat. If it's separated, back to R&D. Compare. Company E makes instant pap. It works great in their test kitchen with filtered water and a whisk. But in real life, Mama Ngozi stirs with a local wooden spoon in a rusty pot. It is lumpy. She never buys again. Company E blames uneducated consumers. FMN blames their lab. Your lesson: find the worst way your customer could use your product. If it survives that, it will thrive anywhere. Principle 8. Build a feedback loop, not a suggestion box. What it means: FMN does not wait for complaints. They hunt for them. How FMN applies it. Every golden penny distributor has a WhatsApp line directly to regional sales managers. Market activation teams do store checks every month. They ask traders, what are people saying about the new pasta? Which carton is not moving? If 3 traders in ABA say the spaghetti breaks too easily, that batch is pulled in 2 weeks. FMN also uses toll-free lines on the pack. But the real magic is they act fast. Feedback on Monday can change production by Friday. Compare. Company F launches a Chin Chin brand. They print, "Haul us" on the pack. Nobody calls. They think, no news is good news. 6 months later, sales die. Why? The customer did not call. She just switched. FMN knows silence is the most expensive feedback. Your lesson: do not set up a suggestion box. Set up a "we will come to you" system. Call 10 customers who bought last month. Ask, what annoy you, even small. Fix that before you scale. 3 more mistakes other companies make. 1. They copy the product, not the process. They see golden penny noodles winning and copy the shape. But they did not copy the 2 years FMN spent with market women. So they launch and wonder why it flops. FMN's advantage is not flair. It is fieldwork. 2. They launch where it is easy, not where it is true. New brands love to launch in Lagos Island because there is money. But FM knows if you can win in Onitsha main market or Kano Sabongari, you can win anywhere. Easy markets give false confidence. Hard markets give truth. 3. They think brand is logo. They spend on fine packaging before proving product market fit. FMN's oldest brands had ugly packs for years. Had the product inside solved a real pain. Today the pack is beautiful because the product won. Brand is what people say when you are not in the room, not what your designer did in Canva. Lessons learned. You can use this week. 1. Your gatekeeper may be poorer than your end user. The distributor, the cook, the market leader, win them first. FMN never forgets that the person with the shop key is CEO of your success. 2. Waste is a whisper. If you listen, it will tell you what to build next. FMN built an entire animal feed empire by listening to what farmers were already discarding. 3. Chaos is the real lab. If your product only works in your kitchen with MTN Wi-Fi and bottled water, you do not have a product. You have a science project. So far, we have covered all 8 principles. Start with the pan. Segment by struggle. Test with naira. Kakfrik full. With gatekeepers. Follow the waste. Price for the pocket. Test in the chaos. Build a feedback loop. In part 3, we will tie it all together. I will show you a 1-page FMN test card you can use to validate your idea in 14 days, plus the biggest lesson FMN learned from a failed product they do not talk about much. Because here's the point. You do not need a factory to think like FMN. You need their discipline. And discipline is free. Do not miss part 3. It is where we turn these principles into your personal action plan. Subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. I drop real African case studies every week to help entrepreneurs, job seekers, and anyone on Social Security build products that sell themselves. Hit subscribe and let us build your misses. Adebayo together. See you in part 3. The billionaire secret hiding in your kitchen cabinet. Part 3. You have met Mrs. Adebayo. You have watched her pot. You have sold to her twice and listened when she complained. Now comes the question that kills most hustles. Can I do this again? Without me in the room? Flour Mills of Nigeria did not become FMN by winning one kitchen. They won by building a system that wins kitchens every day, in every town, even when the founder is not there. That is what separates a side hustle from a legacy. And that is what part 3 is about. If you are unemployed, underemployed, learning to ideate, or on Social Security trying to turn your idea into income, this final part gives you the tools FMN uses after the first sale. Part 3. From first sale to forever brand, the FMN way to scale without guessing. Let us be honest. Most of us stop at principle 8. We get feedback, we smile, we post, "Thank you for your support." FMN does not stop. They weaponize feedback. Here is how you do the same. The one-page FMN test card you can use in 14 days. FMN does not use 50-page reports to decide if a product works. They use field truth. You can't copy this on one sheet. Answer it before you spend big. Card section 1. The person. Write her name. Not market women. Name her. Mama Chika. Friza Kara. At Rumu Koro Junction. 5 am to 10 am. If you cannot name her, you do not know her. FM can name 20 types of buyers for golden penny flour. Can you name 3? Card section 2. The pain. Complete this sentence. Every time Mama Chica tries to underscore, she gets frustrated because underscore. FMN's answer for pasta was, every time she cooks spaghetti for her kids' lunch, it gums together and wastes gas. If your sentence is vague like wants quality, start over. Card section 3. The proof of naira. Did 10 strangers buy it with their own money? Twice, without you begging? FMN calls this repeat in 14 days. Company G calls likes proof. That is why Company G is closed. Card section 4. The chaos check. List 3 worst case ways she will use it. No fridge. Hard water. Her nephew cooks it. Did it survive? Golden penny margarine past Kano heat. Did yours pass Kiki driver storage? Card section 5. The gatekeeper's verdict. Who will lose face if this fails? The distributor? The caterer? Did they stake their name on it? FMN will not launch until a master baker says I will recommend this to my apprentices. Get that quote. If you cannot fill this card, do not print labels yet. FMN would send you back to the market. The product FMN does not talk about. The big lesson from Auntie's Choice. Yes, FMN has failed. Years ago they launched Auntie's Choice, instant bean flour. Idea was solid. Working mums want moi moi without stress. It flopped. Why? They broke Principle 6 and Principle 7. 1. Price for the pocket. They priced it like a premium convenience item. But the mum who buys beans already thinks beans are cheap. She would not pay 3 times the price to save 30 minutes. FM, priced for their factory cost, not her pocket reality. Who? Test in the chaos. In the lab, it steamed perfectly. In real life, Nigerian pots vary, water levels vary, and wrap it in leaf behaves different from put in nylon. Customers complained of sour taste when they oversteamed. FMN could not control the cook. Lesson. Even giants bleed when they assume. FMN pulled the product, ate the loss, and doubled down on field tests. Today, golden penny bean flour exists, but only after 2 more years of testing with real mums in real kitchens. The lesson for you. Your first version is allowed today so your business can live. Company H keeps pushing a failed product because we spent money. FMN kills fast and learns faster. How FMN scales. The 3-stage rule. Company J goes from 100 sales to nationwide advert. FMN follows 3 stages. Steal this. Stage 1. Dominate the street. Can you sell out in one market for 4 market days straight? FMN did this with golden penny noodles in Bodija market before touching Lagos. If Bodia says yes, data says yes. If you cannot own one street, you cannot own a state. Stage 2. Own the city. After the street, pick one city, not 2. 1. FMN chose Ilorin for some SKUs, Enugu for others. Win every major distributor there. Make it painful for a shop to not stock you. Company K launches in PH, Lagos, Abuja. Same day. FMN laughs because none is owned. Stage 3. Earn the right to advertise. Only after a city is locked does FMN run mass ads. Why? Because ads without availability is charity for your competitor. If Mrs. Adebayo sees your billboard, her kiosk does not have it, she buys your rival. FMNS rule. Distribution first, noise second. Final 3 lessons learned for entrepreneurs, unemployed, and underemployed. Lesson 1. Your business is not your product. It is your process. FMN's fleur is not magic. Their process of finding Mr. Adebayo, testing in chaos, and killing bad ideas fast is the magic. Copy the process, not the pack. If you lose your recipe tomorrow, can you rebuild by next month because you know the customer? Lesson 2. Small money teaches better than big money for FMN tests with thousands of naira before committing billions. You can test with 5,000 naira today. Cook, package, stand at a junction. If you need a loan to prove concept, you are already wrong. Proof is cheap. Scale is expensive. Lesson 3. Employment solved at the pot, not the policy. Governments do not create misses. At a BIOS demand. You do. When you solve her lunch problem, she pays you. You pay an assistant. That assistant feeds a family. FMN started with 1 mil. Today they employ thousands. All because they respected one kitchen. Your next step starts today. Take the FMN test card. Pick one idea. Find one mama chica. Spend 14 days. If she buys twice, you have a business. If not, you have education, not debt. That is how you ideate new products. Not by praying for capital, but by proving to capital that you deserve it. Before you go, this 3-part series is just the start. On my YouTube channel, I break down more African giants like this into steps you can use with 0 naira. We cover pricing, packaging, street testing, and how to pitch distributors. If you are serious about moving from unemployed to unstoppable, or from idea to income, subscribe to the channel now. Turn on notifications. Because the next Mrs. Adebio is already hungry. The only question is, will she buy from you, or from the person who watched part 3 and acted? See you in the comments. Let us build.